Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. Got a match for you today on Northern Waters. We started the Russian battleship line, never finished it. Well, I know you got this choice campaign in the next part here. I kind of messed that up. A choice of ships in the next campaign. How about that? Marco Polo or Marlboro. And it's going to be 5 weeks, so I got 5 ships left in the Soviet line. We're here with the Tier 4 tech tree Russian battlecruiser Pyotr Velikiy. Never built. I believe it's referred to as Project 707. I did a lot of reading off of a WoW's Historians webpage. I will make sure to link that. Essentially, it was a joint design between Blom und Voss of Germany and the Putilov Works of Russia. The general layout of the ship, to quote, traces back to the design of German Derfflinger-class battle cruisers. The hull was worked out on the basis of a theoretical line drawing of the battle cruiser Ismail, which is the next ship in the tech tree. So it's a very interesting ship. So how do I play battle cruisers? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can see Will to Rebuild is on there. I recommend that, tiers 5 and below, for your commander. We are using Lev Galler. He is what you would call the range commander, or the accuracy commander. I try to play the battle cruisers more at range. So we're here on Northern Waters, the zoomed in version, which I don't have a high opinion of. And here's an Emil Bertin. Now, I'm going to show you really quickly here why you should never sail broadside to a Russian battleship. There's the Emil Bertin. There goes the Emil Bertin. First blood devastating strike, folks. The punching power of Stellinium cannot be denied in World of Warships Legends. All right, looking out here at the enemy ships. Got a Izuzuchi, and I believe it's an Iron Duke. I don't know what happened in this match, but you will notice the enemy battleships all come over here to Alpha Cap to fight me. And I'm going to show you why that worked out really well for me. Now, I do have teammates with me. My team has arrayed a nice line behind me there on the mini-map. Some of them will come up and risk their lives. Some won't. I got the Iron Duke here, and I think it's an Izuzuchi, and we already shot at the Izuzuchi, but I think the Iron Duke is the ship I need to neutralize. So I'm going to let these turrets come around. I'm going to shoot the AB turrets and do a little bit of damage. And I'm intending to bow onto that island and use our Prodigious Bow Armor to help us out. All right, another set of salvos toward the Iron Duke. Disable one of his turrets. And we're going to come into contact with that island and use it to protect our side. And I'm going to back and turn at the same time, but not before. Another salvo at the Iron Duke. And that salvo totally missed, which was very disappointing. I thought I aimed it well. Unfortunately not. Alright, another salvo there at the Iron Duke. Nice, really good chunk of damage there. 4 penetrations. And at this point, we're just going to back, and we're going to turn a little bit to give a little less broadside. This is about the max angle you can get all 4 turrets on target, folks. So keep that in mind. Another good hit there. 3 penetrations and 1 ricochet. And we have chewed the Iron Duke down to the very end. And last salvo, I was hoping to finish him off. May have aimed that a little bit incorrectly. Now here, I think, was a misplay by the enemy team. They come after me with the carrier-based aircraft. And I don't think they did it enough. And I certainly would have gone after me with more carrier planes. But I was not the carrier commander. So anyway, I thought the Iron Duke was going to get killed right here. I thought about switching to HE. I switched back to armor piercing because I look over and see 3 other battleships up here on me. Checking my secondary battery range, we will engage our enhanced Secondary targeting consumable. I'm thinking, should I waste an entire salvo on the Iron Duke? Or should I take out the Uzuzuchi? Well, thinking back to the Sino-Japanese War, I think that's what they called it when the Soviets and the Japanese fought each other. We're going to take out the Uzuzuchi, folks. Devastating strike. 2 hits to Citadel. And our second kill of the game. Alright, got a Wyoming coming around here. The Iron Duke is still hanging on. Ill-advised torp run by this Clemson. He totally whiffs on the torpedoes. And I think he will end up dead very shortly. I am going to shoot more shots at the Iron Duke. First 2 turrets. And I should have just shot all 4. I got greedy. He was healing. We do unlock high caliber. But I should have shot them all. That being said, do get a nice hit to Citadel on that Wyoming and really do a fair amount of damage there. But in hindsight, I should have shot the Iron Duke and finished him off. The Iron Duke takes out, or is taken out. The Clemson is also taken out by a Dante Alighieri. Alright, Wyoming working on a reload here. We're going to go up a little bit. And we finish him off for our 3rd kill. Alright, the aforementioned Dante Alighieri is the only battleship left over here. I think we took on all of the enemy battleships. And a cruiser. And did pretty well for ourselves. Came very close to having 4 kills. Clearly we could have taken out the Iron Duke. We did the majority of damage there. But I guess I'm just going to have to look back at that moment with regret and remember not to let him go next time. Alright, Dante Alighieri, giving us sort of a good angle. That's a pretty good hit. 3 pens and 3 overpens maybe, if I'm remembering what the ribbon positions are. Not the greatest. These are 356mm guns. I would say that's right on par for this tier. Whereas the 305 millimeter ships at this tier, I would say are undergunned. So that would be probably the October Sky and the Nikolai. Those have 305s. Alright, so we did the Dante some more damage there. Torpedoes, not very well aimed coming in here. They pose no threat to the Dante. Working on that max angle to get all 4 turrets on without giving him any more broadside than I need to, but I needn't have worried because he is shooting elsewhere. And in a minute here, see the secondaries kick in. We're going to tune up the Dante. Kill number 4. Utter domination on this side of the map by the Pyotr Velikiy, if I do say so myself. So even though I have the range commander, even though I built it for ranged combat, sometimes you don't get to choose the way in which you're engaged by the enemy ships. And we didn't. And as you can see, we still have a heal left. We still have 3 damage control parties left. And thus ends the match. So we did not get a Kraken. I'm not willing to call it a Kraken fail, but I think we could have easily gotten a Kraken there. Anyway, here we are on the victory screen. First blood medal, 2 devastating strike medals, the high caliber medal, 152,077 total damage. We shot down 6 airplanes. I think after that first drop, he kind of gave up on me and went elsewhere. I don't understand that. We killed 4 enemy ships, 5 hits to Citadel, and a solo base cap. 26 secondary battery hits. Don't be fooled by that. We'll talk about it in the port. Just short of 250,000 silver, 3701 ship XP and commander XP. Here we are at the top of the board. 2467 base XP, 4 medals, 4 big kills in the Pyotr Velikiy. We only lost the Clemson. The enemy team only killed 1 of our ships. So seeing as all the other players on our team were still alive, I'm pretty happy with this result. And I think it showed you how the Pyotr Velikiy has the ability, you know, with help, of course, to lock down a side of the map, especially in a capture the base match. All right, now that was a domination match. I know that, yes, blah, blah, blah. All right, upgrades, just 1, the aiming system mod 1. It's the only one I would recommend. And we're fully upgraded. Taking a look at the loadout, 5 charges of the short duration damage control party, 2 charges of the repair party, 3 charges of the enhanced secondary targeting consumable. Looking at our boosters, running the Epic Battle Booster for main battery range and movement speed. Got this temporary Type 2 camouflage for incoming fire dispersion and the Cheater Strong flag. Stats, 51,100 hit points and a paltry 11% torpedo damage reduction with our build. Got those 4x2 356mm turrets, 17.1 kilometer firing range, 31.1 second reload, 32.7 second turn time, HE shells 5460 with a 38% fire chance, AP shells do 11,550 damage. 2 sets of secondaries. The first set of 4x2 100 millimeters probably would only damage destroyers. Reloads every 5 seconds, 1,400 HE shell damage with a 6% fire chance. Second set of secondaries, 16 individual 130 millimeter guns, reload in a lengthy 12 seconds, 1,900 HE shell damage, 9% fire chance. The range of both set of secondaries is only 4.2 kilometers. Don't build into the secondaries. All right, looking at this AA defense, that first set of secondaries is dual purpose and does count as AA. However, this isn't very long ranging. Your best AA is that second tier, the 37 millimeter 70K guns. They do the most damage per second. But that being said, again, very short range. This is just enough. But I think if you were targeted, especially if you were down tier by like the Ark Royal, you could have a quick game. All right. Maneuverability, 24.6 knots, 800 meter turning circle, 11.5 second rudder shift time. And concealment, 13.2 on the surface, 10.6 in the air, 11.5 when firing in smoke. Remember, our camo doesn't do anything for concealment. Taking a look at the armor viewer here, just ignore me toggling endlessly through some of this stuff. I didn't know what I was looking at. That Citadel doesn't inspire a lot of confidence, folks. Got that little red heavy plate at the front, but there's a lot of green there, and that's terrifying, especially from above. If you're going up against a German aircraft carrier, and also from the sides, you definitely do not want to show that broadside. But look at this beautiful bow armor. All right, you've got an armor belt. It tops out at 180 all the way down to 75. Icebreaker bow way above the ship. Your OG bow is that little blue 19 millimeter spot under the water there that I just highlighted. So you really don't have to worry about taking hits there, and you can bow tank with the sucker all day long. Really, really recommend doing that with this ship. As I keep on toggling here, I don't know what I was looking for. All right, anyway, torpedo protection, not very substantial, as you could see. Casemate armor continues that armor belt, 250 millimeters at its thickest level, back across the center line of the ship to protect that citadel. Put these turrets on well below the casemate. They are less heavily armored. But with the casemate on there, you can see the turrets and barbettes are heavily armored on the sides. Turrets a little bit weaker on the roof, as you can see from above, but the turret faces are sloped. And all in all, as I add in this restless, meaningless armor, is a very strong armor profile for a battlecruiser, which is the reason why I would say until the Julio Cesare showed up, Pyotr Velikiy may have been the heavyweight on the block. Cesare maybe doesn't have the armor. Definitely a great ship. All right, here's our commander, fully maxed Lev Gawler. Got Cunningham and D. Ravel on our build. The base trait, Flaming Arrow. You probably won't use this unless you're down tier. Increases the HE shell damage. You can see it maxes out at 5%. You have a really good fire chance with these Russian guns, so don't hesitate to use this. Quick note, gyrating drill bits. This is a battlecruiser capable of around 27 knots. We did nerf our own speed. Here's the important row, volunteer. This is a unique skill to the Russian commanders. You get 2 extra damage control parties. Strongly recommend that. If you're not comfortable with the nerf, you can also select collective labor, another unique Russian skill, which gives you an extra damage con charge. I would never use marksmanship. Speaking of never, in row 4, never use properly meticulous and never use emergency specialist on a Russian ship. Emergency specialist shortens your damage control party duration. Hello? It's a short duration damage con. You want it to go for as long as it can, and it reloads rather quickly, so there's never a need to use either of these two skills if you're using Gauler. And of course, our legendary skill was Will to Rebuild. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this look at the Pyotr Velikiy. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button. And you can always subscribe. 75% of my viewers don't subscribe. Think about it. All right?